Live, local, late breaking. This is WBAL-TV 11 News Sunday morning in HD.
A special medical alert this morning. Back-to-back blizzards certainly have the potential to magnify the winter blues. Author Therese Borchard is here to talk about battling depression. She tackles the issue in her book, Surviving Depression and Anxiety and Making the Most of Bad Genes. Well, this is certainly a good time to talk about this. Good morning, Therese.
Good morning to you.
So before we get started, tell me if you can encapsulate your personal history that you have spelled out here in the book.
Well, everyone asks, are you a therapist? And I have to say, no, I have no qualifications whatsoever, except for that I lived 2 years of hell. And I went through 23 different medication combinations, 7 psychiatrists, 2 psychiatric wards, and every alternative therapy that you can think of. So I believe I've earned the right to talk about it.
Okay, well, certainly. And in this time of year, how can it magnify depression for people who are already in the depths of it?
Because many of the tools that they use, especially me, you know, going outside, kayaking, running, eating fresh food, they don't work during these times because you can't get out to the store to eat fresh fruit. You can't, get on your bike and go biking. So you have to be creative with how you go about, battling the blues during this kind of winter depression.
And your routine is disrupted.
Right, and your routine, of course, because the kids are home, and that's, well, I won't really go into that. But that's reason enough that you're trying to work with the kids home, and so that's why I do think you have to come up with some tips that are going to work during these weeks.
Well, it seems like our society right now, a lot of people feel like there's a pill for everything, just go to the doctor, get a prescription, you'll be fine. But that didn't work for you. So what is your advice for somebody who is struggling with depression now and just hasn't found the right way to combat it?
Well, I think that it's important to go to a teaching hospital. I went to Johns Hopkins, and that's really where I began to get well, because the doctors that are at teaching hospitals aren't going to be taking the pharmaceutical reps, the newer medications as easily. They're more into the research. They're more conservative. I needed to be very conservative with my meds because I couldn't try out every new medication, every antipsychotic that came on the market. And I think more, some of the psychiatrists who are apart from the teaching hospitals, I think, do that. So that, I think, finding the right therapist is very important. I think working on your health, your sleep, that's huge. I think that's part of the reason why I descended into such a dismal state was because of the sleep deprivation of early motherhood. I think your eating, I think that's crucial. I think exercise. I won't be like Tom Cruise and say that that's all you need to do to rewire the brain chemistry, but boy, it's enough for some people, and it's huge for me.
And you talk about basically faking it till you can make it. If you have a family, you have to keep going. So how do you go through the motions when you're feeling so terrible?
By saying this too shall pass, and just breaking it down into 3 minutes at a time, into 5 minutes at a time, or if you can get it to an hour at a time, just really making it and doing the minimal, asking for help, begging for help, promising your in-laws that you'll name the next kid after them if they take the kids, anything to get that help.
Okay, all right. Well, Therese Borchard, thanks so much for being here. I think it's important again for people to realize this is a true disease that that deserves treatment like anything else.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much again. The book is Beyond Blue: Surviving Depression and Anxiety and Making the Most of Bad Genes. Up next on 11 News Sunday Brunch, we're in the kitchen.